Microsoft is blocking more ways to set up a Windows 11 local account. When announcing Windows 11 Insider Preview builds 26.120.6772, Microsoft revealed that they are removing known mechanisms for setting up an offline or local.
April 2025. Microsoft's customer satisfaction scores hit an all-time low. The American Customer Satisfaction Index publishes their annual technology report. Windows 11 scores 68 out of 100. That's the lowest score for any Windows version since they started tracking in 1994. Lower than Vista's 71. Lower than Windows 8's 73. Even lower than Windows ME's 70 back in 2001. But the score itself isn't the story. It's what's behind it. Over 340,000 support tickets filed in the first quarter of 2025 alone. That's triple the number Windows 10 generated in its first year. The complaints are consistent. The OS is breaking workflows, slowing down computers, creating problems that didn't exist before. And here's what makes this catastrophic for Microsoft. The negative sentiment isn't coming from tech blogs or YouTube reviewers. It's coming from enterprise customers, the Fortune 500 companies that pay millions in licensing fees, banks, hospitals, government agencies. The customers Microsoft can't afford to lose are the ones threatening to leave. Bill Gates hasn't been involved in Windows development since 2008, but according to 3 board members who spoke to Bloomberg, he's been in emergency meetings every week since February. Not because he's still running things, because his legacy is collapsing. The platform he spent 30 years building is becoming synonymous with frustration and failure. The Taskbar disaster? Nobody expected. Let's start with something that sounds trivial, but isn't. The taskbar. Windows 11 removed the ability to move the taskbar. It's locked to the bottom of the screen. Windows has allowed taskbar customization since Windows 95. 30 years of functionality gone. Microsoft's explanation? Modern design requires consistency. The centered layout works best at the bottom. Users disagree violently. A petition on change.org demanding movable taskbar has 487,000 signatures. Microsoft's official feedback forum shows the taskbar complaint as the most requested feature, 156,000 upvotes, more than any other feature request in Windows history. Why does this matter? Because millions of users have workflows built around taskbar placement. Jennifer Park is a stock trader in Manhattan. She uses 3 monitors. For 12 years, she's had her taskbar on the left side of her center monitor. That placement keeps it visible while watching stock charts. When she upgraded to Windows 11, the taskbar jumped to the bottom, blocked her watch lists. She tried to move it back. Can't. She searched for workarounds, found registry hacks that sort of work, but break with every update. She's now spending 15 to 20 minutes after each Windows update fixing her taskbar again. But here's the real cost. She missed a cell signal on February 23rd. The taskbar covered the alert. She was down $14,200 before she noticed, because Microsoft decided users don't need taskbar customization. Jennifer isn't alone. AutoCAD users who kept taskbars on the side to maximize video editors who positioned taskbars on their secondary monitors, accessibility users who need specific layouts for their workflows. Microsoft broke all of them for aesthetics. The File Explorer nightmare, costing time. Then there's File Explorer. Windows 11 redesigned it completely. New ribbon interface, new right-click menus, new navigation. Sounds fine? Except it's slower. File Explorer in Windows 11 takes 340 milliseconds to open. Windows 10 took 180 milliseconds. That's 89% slower. That's less than a second, you might think. Who cares? People who open File Explorer 50 to 100 times per day care. That's most knowledge workers. Do the math. 100 times per day at 160 milliseconds extra per open. That's 16 seconds daily, 80 seconds per week, 69 minutes per year, per employee. A company with 5,000 employees loses 5,750 hours annually. At $40 average hourly cost, that's $230,000 per year in lost productivity. From a slower File Explorer, But the speed isn't even the worst part. The right-click menu is. Windows 11 added a Show More Options submenu. Common actions like copy path or send to are hidden behind this extra click. Want to copy a file path? Right-click, Show More Options, then Copy as Path. That's 2 extra clicks compared to Windows 10. The settings chaos, driving users insane. Now let's talk about settings. Windows has 2 control panels, the old control panel from Windows 7 and the new settings app from Windows 10. Windows 11 was supposed to unify them. Instead, it made things worse. Some settings are in settings, some are still in control panel, some are in both places but with different options in each. There's no logic to what's where. Tom Bradley is an IT administrator for a school district. 2,400 computers across 18 schools. He needs to configure power settings for all computers. Energy savings matter because electricity costs $840,000 annually. In Windows 10, he used group policy to push power settings. Worked fine. In Windows 11, some power settings moved. Others split between settings and control panel. His group policy scripts broke. He spent 6 days reconfiguring everything. That's 48 hours of his time at $58 per hour. That's $2,784 just in his labor. Plus, the time machines ran on incorrect power settings while he fixed it. The district estimates excess power consumption cost $18,400 during those 6 days. Total cost of Microsoft moving power settings around? $21,184 for one school district, for settings that worked fine before. Multiply that across millions of organizations. The cumulative cost of settings chaos is staggering. That's 78 hours of work. At $62 per hour, that's $4,836, plus the support tickets from staff following outdated documentation. She calculated Windows 11 has cost her organization $67,000 in IT support time. Not from bugs, from Microsoft constantly rearranging the interface. The snap layouts nobody uses. Microsoft heavily promoted snap layouts. Hover over the Maximize button. A grid appears. Click a zone. Your window snaps to that layout. You can arrange multiple windows quickly. Sounds useful. In practice, 4% adoption rate. Microsoft's own telemetry, leaked to The Verge, shows only 4.1% of Windows 11 users have used snap layouts more than once. 96% of users either don't know it exists or tried it once and never used it again. Why? Because Windows 10's window snapping already worked. Drag a window to the side, it snaps to half screen. Drag to a corner, it snaps to a quarter. Fast, intuitive. Everyone already knew how to do it. Snap layouts require remembering to hover over Maximize, then clicking a specific zone. It's more steps than just dragging windows, so nobody uses it. But Microsoft spent millions developing snap layouts, marketing it, training their support staff on it, for a feature 96% of users ignore. Meanwhile, features users actually want get ignored. The petition for movable taskbar has 487,000 signatures. Microsoft says it's not a priority, but snap layouts, which nobody uses, got development resources. This reveals Microsoft's fundamental problem. They're building features for marketing, not users. Features that demo well in presentations. Features that tech media will write about, not features that make users more productive. The widgets, panel-eating resources. Windows 11 added a widgets panel. Swipe from the left or click the icon. A panel slides out showing weather, news, stocks, sports scores. It's always running in the background, even if you never open it, consuming 180 to 220 megabytes of RAM constantly. Loading news feeds, updating weather, checking stocks, all happening whether you use it or not. David Chen is a 3D artist. He works with Blender and Unreal Engine. RAM-intensive applications, he's got 32 gigabytes of RAM. Should be plenty. But Windows 11's various background processes consume 8.2 gigabytes at idle. That's 25.6% of his RAM. Gone. Before he opens any applications, compare that to Windows 10 on the same hardware. 3.1 gigabytes at idle. That's 9.7% of RAM. Windows 11 uses 5.1 gigabytes more RAM doing nothing. That's 164% more overhead. For David, that matters. Complex 3D scenes need every megabyte of RAM. Windows 11's bloat means he can't load scenes as large as he could in Windows 10. He's hitting memory limits that didn't exist before. He tried disabling widgets. The panel closes, but the process keeps running. It still uses RAM, still updates feeds. You can't actually turn it off without registry edits that break with updates. This is happening across millions of computers. Windows 11's background processes consume significantly more resources than Windows 10. Users with 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes of RAM are noticing performance impacts. Microsoft's response? Modern operating systems require more resources, but Windows 10 ran fine. Windows 11 didn't add features users need. It added features that consume resources while providing minimal value. The compatibility breaks, costing businesses, but the most expensive Windows 11 failures are compatibility breaks. Software that worked on Windows 10 breaking on Windows 11. Marcus Rodriguez runs a dental practice. 6 chairs, 6 computers. They use dental practice management software from a specialized vendor. Cost them $14,000 for the software licenses. The software worked perfectly on Windows 10. They upgraded to Windows 11 in March 2024. The software became unstable. Random crashes, database errors, lost appointment data. They called the software vendor. The vendor said, Windows 11 changed how applications access certain system resources. They're working on an update. We'll be ready in 4 to 6 months. Marcus can't wait 4 to 6 months. He needs working software now. The vendor offered a workaround. Downgrade to Windows 10. But Windows 10 support ended October 2024. Running unsupported software violates their cybersecurity insurance requirements. If they're breached while running unsupported software, insurance won't cover it. Marcus is trapped. Windows 11 breaks his software. Windows 10 violates insurance requirements. The software vendor says the problem is Microsoft's changes. Microsoft says the problem is the vendor needs to update their software. Meanwhile, Marcus is managing appointments manually. Staff are triple-checking everything because they don't trust the software. Productivity is down. Errors are up. Patient satisfaction is dropping because of longer wait times and scheduling mistakes. He calculated Windows 11 has cost his practice approximately $34,000 in lost productivity, staff overtime, and reduced patient volume because Microsoft changed how applications access system resources. This story repeats across specialized industries: medical imaging software, industrial control systems, financial trading platforms, custom business applications built specifically for Windows 10. Many break on Windows 11. Software vendors scramble to fix compatibility. But there are thousands of specialized applications. They can't all update instantly. Businesses are caught in the middle, facing broken software with no good options.